up public for you guys. Oh, looks like Scotty's live right now as well. Alright, up to 1,361 subs. So I got more footage from my pickup and delivery stuff from the other day. I still got to post as well. Live Amarillo to Oklahoma City. Might go further, I don't know, but might have an opportunity to stop and see my kids in Oklahoma City. So tentatively, I'm gonna just go to Oklahoma City. I might be able to get back and still got 6 hours to work with. I'm gonna run 380 miles. How many is it from here to our yard? I think it's about 350 or so from here to our terminal. Pretty sure it's about 350 or so. 340, okay. So I have enough pot to damn near get to our terminal. I mean to the receiver, but I don't have anything for parking there, so alright, let me get this turned around. I want to get moving and figure everything else out once I'm on the road. Now we're at the TA in Amarillo, and on the way to Ochalata, Oklahoma, or Ochalata as some people would call it, or a lot of people would call it. Here. Oh, nice job, Creed. You didn't realize that you had a on-ramp right there to work with. You had to cut across lanes to get to it, right? Because you were ill prepared. I remember my first time driving too. Accelerate at least. Yeah, looks like I do. Not much of one, but I do get one. Alright, so ran from just west of Albuquerque this last night, early this morning, whatever. Over to here, decided to take a couple hour nap. Woken up by Andy Higgins calling me. I'll have to call him back. He beat my alarm clock. Actually, my alarm clock went off already like an hour before, but I was like, yeah, I'm tired. I didn't feel like I slept enough, so I said, to hell with it. Snoozed another hour. able to hang with my boys today. I don't know, might end my day in Oklahoma City. I don't know for sure though. Could end up at our yard too, but I definitely want to at least stop at OKC and visit them for a little bit, if nothing more. Speed Racer Prime. Might as well go faster than other traffic when now you're actually able to. Some of us actually do the speed limit. Or so mile trip. Over 240 from Amarillo to OKC. And it'll take a little bit more than 3.5 hours, so then it'll be Yeah, it's some motherfucking mutt, bro. Just cut me off. No, no, it was a cocker spaniel. I'm gonna beat his ass. Yeah, I'll slap that ass so hard. Uh, maybe. It's your worst nightmare. Yeah, you piece of shit, running me off the road. No, maybe you deserve it. Maybe you deserve an ass whooping. Yes, I do have a big Peter. I just got moving again. Apparently, you're an alarm clock. Yeah, I was. Well, I stopped in Amarillo for a 30. I was getting tired, so I decided to take a nap there. I only Yeah, I had my alarm set for about an hour, and then I woke up after an hour. I'm like, fuck, I'm tired still. I'm going back to bed. So when set it for another hour later, then you beat me to the alarm clock. So, or you beat the alarm clock. Yeah, by about yeah, you beat it by about maybe like 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it was. Oh, yeah. Washington. Okay, it's been a second. Iowa, huh? Creamy horseradish sauce. That's a little peculiar. But well, it's not. I just not. It's something I hear everybody keeping on their truck. So it's just kind of interesting. What? Okay. Well, I don't have a problem with horseradish sauce either. What? Why? To McAllen, Texas? Ah. You decided not to do that load down to SoCal, huh? Ah. Yeah, that's an inconvenience. That was the That was the shipper that did that to you, or uh so what time are you picking up now? Oh, no wonder. Nice. That's pretty quick. And then what time? Well, I assume it's like the 30th or something when you deliver in McAllen, or the 29th. Or no, oh no, today's yeah, because today's the 29th, right? Alrighty. So taking a meat load down to McAllen that is going, or I assume it's a meat load. A meat back out of Laredo. That's interesting. Yeah, it's just weird because usually you hear it's like green veggie produce kind of stuff. Uh, or they're sending their shit back. They're sending back the shit we sent them before. The load you're under now, going to Chicago, but you're taking it to McAllen. Interesting. Ah, what in the hell? Well, you have a temp controlled trailer, so okay, that's some weird stuff there. Yeah, I'm not getting that. So they were gonna send you to Vernon just to get a temp recorder unit, and that's it. And then you were gonna have to backtrack over to San Bernardino. That's stupid. That makes no sense. Strange. About as weird as taking meat from Iowa down to Laredo, I mean McAllen, just to send it back up to Chicago. Is it going to a cold place or so? There's a possibility, or That or the company it's for is in Chicago, but might use it elsewhere. Like maybe just need it on the site. Because you said it was a Tyson plant, right? Yeah, so it might be like going into cold storage for use as for spare usage, whatever, or kind of supply overhead. Yeah, when there are cold storage places right there in Illinois that they can be going to. Not a very long distance either from Perry. I don't know. Where's Perry at? That sounds familiar. That's what I thought. I think I've been to Perry. I want to say I had a delivery over there. I forget who it was though. It was it's kind of over by Boone, isn't it? Okay, yeah, I might explain it then. I think I went through Perry to get to Boone. Um, yeah, it might be it. It's a big grocery, whatever. Yeah, yeah, it's huge. Yeah, I liked it there. And they have overnight parking. Yeah, I just left Amarillo. I'm going through Conway, Texas now. Probably stop in Oklahoma City and visit my boys if I'm able to. Let's see what they have going on. Assuming I'll be able to stop and visit them, I'll be stopping at the not the TA, it's on Morgan Road, but the other one that's over by the JCT drop yard. Exit 142. You know the TA at exit 142? Yeah, that one. That's the closest the closest place I know of where I can park my truck for a little bit because they're still looking for a home to live in. I guess they've looked at a bunch of places and they even tried to put in uh, trying to sign lease agreements for a couple of them, but got beat out by other people before they could get to it. Yeah, yeah, seems like no, actually, her dad lives in like what the hell is that town called? There's a her dad lives in Oklahoma, so that was a one of the big factors. Yeah, not to mention all the just get away from all the political and whatever bullshit in Cali. Here we got here 41, 44 Bravo. Yeah, yeah, they seem to be liking it so far. They're getting a really good feel for where what are some good areas and bad areas of the OKC area. Not yet, because they gotta can't really start with until they know where they're actually going to be living. Yeah, her husband already got a job, so yeah, and it sounded like they were hurting for people. Like they don't have like not enough people to go around to give jobs to there. Yeah, I don't think it would be though. In some ways, because some companies are laying off people because of the freaking forced closures. Yeah, that's true. Because they have to work. All right. Yeah, warehouse jobs in Cali. I know of a lot of times whenever people I've known have tried to get warehouse jobs like over in Paris or over in that Moreno Valley area, whatever. Yes, but I lived in like Sun City. A lot of times people would get rejected. They would try to get those kind of jobs and couldn't because they were not bilingual. Yeah, yeah, I agree. But that's California culture for you too. I mean, obviously, I'd have a leg up on that since I speak some Spanish, but still, it's a predominantly English-speaking country. Yeah, yeah, that's what's important. El dinero, la mula, la ferilla. Me da un mil dólares. Cien, no. ¿Tienes un verga grande? Come on, car. Go by me. On over. Ah, all right. Stopping tonight? Alrighty then. Party in OKC? Yeah. No, I don't deliver till 8:30 tomorrow morning, and I was thinking either I'd stop there in OKC so I can see my kids, or if I have time, stop and see them for a little bit. I can have lunch or something, and then finish my day at the yard, and then uh, have a shorter trip up to Ochalata when it's time. You know, I'm saying that just like that, just to mess with you. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Those Indian words, I think, I think most Indian languages are pronounced have same vowel pronunciations as Spanish. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know Indian language linguistics like I do Spanish and Italian. Let's see. So you're going straight down 35, or you're going down some other route? Ah, I'm almost surprised. Almost, yeah, I'm almost surprised you're not taking some other route just because it's you. Just because it's you. I know you like taking U.S. highways. Yeah. Uh-huh. Says the guy who drives an auto shift Volvo. Yeah. I'm messing with you. Yeah. It's amazing that thing doesn't have problems. Because auto shift always has problems and stuff. Oh, be- better knock on wood. So how's that APU working out for you? Worthwhile investment there, I'm sure. Yeah, I was a little surprised at how cool it was, because yeah, I was getting like 90 something, 90 plus weather at home, and then yeah, and I even when I shut down in Albuquerque at Route 66, it was pleasant. It was like 70 or just low 70s, nice, and where I was kind of off and on running my APU, not very long at a time, but then yeah, my just the APU, I'd run the AC off of it just long enough to where it'd get me cold, and then okay, I can turn it off and relax for a while. And then I only had to run it like intermittently, like 3 times before I was done running it at all. And then I got rolling this morning. We got here 2 people sitting all there searching their vehicle. Say, yeah, it's 2 vehicle occupants on the right shoulder in the grass there, in between the eastbound lanes on the service road, and cops sitting there searching their car. Coyote. Yeah, I bagged me my second coyote today. Yeah, I got it on my dash cam too. Yeah, stupid thing. It was where was it? I was about 10 miles west of Tucumcari. I see this coyote come into my lanes from the right shoulder area and just takes off running, and then like he's gonna go into the median and then like go running across to the westbound side. As I'm approaching, all of a sudden I see him. I'm like shit. And once I saw where he was at, like there's no fucking way I'm gonna miss him now. It's just a matter of are my tires gonna get him, or he's gonna go underneath the center of my truck. Uh, yeah, he went under the center of my truck, right under the center. No, that's the same exact place where I hit the first coyote. Well, not location, but no. No, the first time I hit a coyote was when I was in the Walmart fleet, and I just finished delivering to the Sam's Club in Las Cruces, and it was on my way back to Casa Grande. And right before, like about a mile or so before I got to the Border Patrol checkpoint over there, this stupid thing went running across from the left, from the median across my lanes and diagonally away. And I don't know, he even know what hit him. He went right underneath the center of my truck as well. And that one I could see basically from the light of whoever was behind me, and enough to see that the dog was just sitting there in the middle of the lane, laid down. I saw him like lift his head up briefly, and then laid back down. And then I went back through there like a week later with another Las Cruces load, and I'm looking in that area. I'm like, yep, sure enough, there he is. His carcass is sitting there on the shoulder. It's the road department moved him over there. Yeah. Well, at least I don't go shooting them 12 times with a freaking 22. You heard about that one, right? Yeah, there was this, what was he? Freaking idiot. He decides he's going to use a 22 to, to kill a coyote. Yeah, maybe a little bit small on the ammo size there. Man, I have a hard time killing rabbits with a 22, let alone a fucking coyote. And I know from experience shooting rabbits with 22s, they're not that effective. I mean, sometimes they work, but uh-huh. Yeah, the rabbits. Yeah, when I would get them on 22s, a lot of times, I didn't. Most of the time, they didn't die right away. And this is more story time here now. Just on time now with Cody watching, Cody and James Kelly watching along with Terry. Um, hi. Uh, Cody, yeah, Cody was one of the guys I trained in the Walmart fleet. All right, so anyway, when I would go rabbit hunting and I'd use 22, there would be times where I remember I'd shoot one rabbit and I saw a hole in its ear, a jackrabbit, a hole in its ear from me shooting it. Yeah, I never did see the thing again. It took off. Had another one where I got it in the gut and I saw its guts hanging down, but it just kept running and running. I couldn't find the damn thing. As I felt bad, now its guts all hanging out, and well, I had that same mentality with who was it, your uncle or who was the guy? The one who would shoot him with nails? Your dad, okay. Yeah, well, see, we used to try to grow different veggies and stuff in our backyard, and then fucking rabbits would always come in our yard. We had a yeah, I do some damage or do whatever population control I can with those things, which is moot. It's breezy. I wouldn't call it really strong. I'm not feeling much on my truck, but I can tell it's windy because I can see I see all these bushes here in between the two sides of the freeway and in between my road, my lanes and the service road that the bushes are blowing around. And then all the windmills up in front of me all of them are moving at a decent speed. I'm getting kind of a north to south kind of impression, but I don't know. It's what it is here. It's not enough for me to really feel on any effects against my truck. I can just tell what it is. Ah, yeah, that's not something to worry about. I only have a 21,000 pound load. A little bit more of a concern for me, but nah, this is nothing. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, these rabbits, though, I'd always have a hard time killing them, and I mean, these are jackrabbits, and then maybe once in a while a cottontail, but usually where I was at, it was mostly jackrabbits. Yeah, honestly, I don't know why. Well, they're like cottontails. You have to have, I guess, a license to hunt. You didn't hear that. Yeah, yeah, and then well, actually, jackrabbits are considered pests. So, and then from what I remember reading, you could it was legal to hunt and kill jackrabbits year round. When I'd go with my cousins over to like Honda Valley over by where I live now. All right, yeah, and then you can also tell everybody you have an anchor baby wife too. Yeah, so I can't give a fuck. Yeah, you don't need a assault rifle to go hunting. Yeah, that's not what. Well, all right, I'm not gonna go there for now. Don't want to get into that play. Don't want to have a big all political debate. But anyway, yeah, my point is 22s don't do shit. I mean, they can kill pretty effectively, but you have to be very accurate with the shot, get it in the right spot. Yeah, I saw three turkeys a lot when I was bowling in leagues. No, by myself, and then other people too. I'm bowled in scratch leagues. I'm a good bowler. Yeah, I've averaged as high as 215 in leagues before. You know what kind of money that most of the pro bowlers make? Not that much. Yeah. Oh yeah, the top notch guys, that makes $200,000-300,000 or so, whatever. But well, and they probably make more doing like pro-am tournaments and endorsements and stuff. But my big balls, whatever. Yeah, I used to bowl enough though. I mean, when I first moved down to Sun City, yeah, when I first got hired at the base as a full timer, I was I was in I think three leagues still up in Barstow, and then I got in two more leagues in Moreno Valley, and I was bowling like 5 nights a week, and I would actually drive from the base up to Barstow to do my leagues 3 nights a week, and then go back home to Sun City. And then yeah, I was. And when the season ended, then yeah, I was like, okay, no more Barstow bowling. That's just too damn far. Yeah, so what? It's not 100 miles, but I don't know. It's pretty close to 100 miles from Barstow to Sun City. Probably, I don't know, maybe 90 or so. Too damn much. Three, yeah, 3 nights a week just to finish my league. So, yeah, that's how hardcore it was. So I did, yeah, I was in, yeah, I like sticking my fingers in anything with 3 holes. I'm trying to, I, come on, Cody. You're on here watching. I know that had gotten a laugh out of you. If not anybody, if not other people. That's a joke, people. You can't have me and not have some sometimes X-rated jokes. Ah, yeah, you know what? I found a lot more effective though on the rabbits. My SKS, bigger round and higher power. Well, most of the time my SKS, like the problem with the SKS though is how do they have, because I guess people actually eat cottontail, and that's why cottontails get hunted. Yeah, because I guess now jackrabbits, I guess, are not really good eating or something. But all right, so when I use 22s, I couldn't. Yeah, I had a hard time with them. I even, man, I even had this. I call this morbid, but I had this little pipe with a handle grip on it that I would take, when I'd go rabbit hunting, and or times where I'd shoot a rabbit, and it was it, and yeah, I didn't want to shoot it right there at point blank range to put it out of its misery, so I had this pipe that I'd use, bash it in the head. Yeah, and stuff, Charles Manson kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, but I, I'm, but thing is, I'm not trying to make them suffer at all. I want to work. Yeah, that's it. I'll fuck like a bunny. That's what it says, Cody, at least. Now, when I'd shoot them with my SKS, though, man, how in the hell is there even any meat to eat? Because I remember I had one when I was over in Honda Valley, which is over by Hesperia. I remember I got one. I shot it from the hip. I don't even know how I got it because shooting from the hip is fucking hard. It's not. It's a terribly inaccurate way to shoot. Yeah, I nailed one, a cottontail that was on the run on top of it, and I blew it literally. Yeah, and I blew it literally in half. That was with yeah, that was with my SKS, and like holy shit, I mean, well, I had to admit he was dead right away, but and then I'm thinking, well, people kill cottontails to eat. How in the hell do you even have any meat to eat after shooting them with something that at least will get the job done? So yeah, that's how I know a 22 is a horrible option to use on a coyote. Yeah, so those of you guys who tuned in a little more recently, I was talking about how I ran over a coyote early this morning west of Tucumcari, and ended up getting on the subject of because how Andy's dad used to shoot rabbits with nail, like you said, not a nail gun, right, or a rifle, but he would shoot nails. Yeah, I'm really curious on that one. But yeah, his dad would deal with these rabbits that would eat his flowers and other shit that he would grow. Oh, I thought about stopping there myself because it's a big lot, but yeah, the TA over there off 142 is a little bit closer to where my ex and the kids are staying. Yeah, because from OKC down to McAllen is how many miles? Like six. Uh, were you, were you gonna take like 35 down to San Antonio and then like 37 down or something? Or yeah, 77 or whatever the hell it's called. Okay, yeah, I know the one you're talking about. That's that one that goes up toward Corpus Christi from McAllen. Yeah. Hmm. Oh yeah, talking about 130. Yeah. And there for the week. I think it was a weekend. Um, might have been. I don't know if it was Sunday. I forget. But I had a I had a traffic delay over by New Braunfels. That was it. And that was only because of an accident. But then the previous time going through Austin, yeah, I was. it was shitty right in that same spot where it always is. You know, right over by right by where the university is at. It varies. I usually try to go upper when I'm in Austin, but I have been on the lower side as well. I remember my first time going through that lower side though, and I'd see certain bridge signs that were like less than 13.6. I'm like, what the hell? I can't do this. And but like there was a truck right in front of me doing going through there too, and it's like nah, it's below 13.6 over on the sides, and tall enough in the lane over the lanes. But and down. Oh, yeah, he'd be taking a 35W side instead of 35E. Yeah, but then that area gets bogged down too. I don't think not as bad as well, not as bad as like going through downtown Dallas, but still, when you get down by what's that, where 287 splits off to the south, or getting over, between I-30 and I-20 area, that can be a pain in the ass. Where's Stevens Point? What part of Wisconsin? Oh, we're on that end. Okay. So kind of more on the, oh, uh, yeah, good question. I would think 35, a good chunk of the way, but then, well, 'cause if when you say Madison, I would think, at least one of the ways I would, yeah, and then take 80 over to, you can either go through Cedar Rapids or, well, what I do is, I'll usually go a little bit past. Yeah, what I usually do, yeah, what I usually do is stay on 80 to Highway 1, which is a little bit east of Cedar Rapids, and then take one up to 151. Then, yeah, and then of course 151 will take you right up to Madison. Which way do I feel like going this time? I can see you doing that 30 to 40 to 55 to 57 route. I know you kind of like going that way. Yeah, but then you got cheaper fuel over there in Missouri. Well, then again, yeah, even Western Missouri, though, you'd get some really good fuel prices along the 35 corridor there in Missouri. morning, James Ewing. Um, James Kelly, I can't read but here, so when I get done talking to Andy, I think you'll have to fill me in on. McLean. This is the Google route. Damn. 90 via what, 35 or so? Yeah, that's not too bad. Couple of really long shifts and then a really short one to end it. Up to 90 and then 90 across. That's interesting. I'll have to check the. I'm kind of curious the truck router website that I use. I don't use it much, but I mainly use it to kind of estimate miles and figure out where I at least trip plan where truck stops are if I'm on a route that I'm not uh, knowledgeable enough on the. Oh, this is how far. Obviously where I normally run, I don't need any of that shit. I already know exactly how far it is, or about how far it is from one place to another. But now when I'm doing the more long distance stuff, especially going east or wherever, I'm like, yeah, I kind of sometimes need help getting an idea of where to plan on making my stops, or at least more or less, and then I have a clue where I want to stop. Yeah. So I thought with these new HOS rules that kick in today that the 2 hour part of an 8-2 split is supposed to stop the 14-hour clock. Yeah, they did because I got a Qualcomm message saying they kick in today, and in fact, yeah, in fact, when I started my shift, I did my on-duty pre-trip time, and it was weird because normally you see your 8 hour clock already ticking down because yeah, on duty runs your 8 hour also. Nope. I was on duty for my whole pre-trip, and it was just sitting there stuck at 8 hours. I'm like, man, that is strange. But and then I confirmed, and yeah, it's counting down my 14. It's but not count down my 8. That's the new HOS rules kicked in. Yeah, independent. Oh, owner operator, whatever. What's their what's their concern? Okay, so OIDA wants to get rid of the 14-hour clock altogether, and just because the new rules don't get rid of it, they sued. Interesting. Yeah, they might have filed a petition, whatever, with the court, but then the court, they would have had to have a hearing on whether to put a temporary injunction in place or to say, no, you don't have enough ground on that to stop it before going to court. Because I mean, they can still go to court over it, but not actually stop it from kicking in first. It's kind of like that AB 15 crap, where uh, yeah, the judge actually put a temporary injunction in place to prevent it from kicking in on truckers. They're going to go to court over it regardless, but at least a judge uh, blocked it from applying to truckers temporarily. Yeah, I don't see having an issue with the 14-hour rule being enough reason to stop this thing from kicking in. Personally, it's yeah, I think we all agree the 14-hour clock needs to go. But yeah, now to me, this change here was like going from Windows 3.1 to or 3.0 to 3.1, not going from Windows 3 to freaking Windows 4, right? That's what I think is stupid, and because yeah, on duty time is that I'm doing something productive for business reasons. 30-minute break is me taking a break for personal use, whether I eat, whether I sleep, or sit on the shitter. I don't care. That's my time. That's not because I can see that getting used more with when I with the Walmart fleet when I was in it, the day cab routes. Because when I would cover day cab routes, I would be good more than 13 and a half hours into my shift by the time I got back to the yard, and I never actually got a chance to take any real break. My 30-minute breaks were more like go stand around on the dock door and in front of the trailer or the dock door, or whatever, and go inside the trailer. Walmart person pulls them out of my trailer because that was the only way if I don't do this like this, then I'll run out of clock by the time I get back to cold time. And that's bullshit. Because, like, what if I want to take a nap or something, or what if I want to actually eat something? I couldn't do it. A 13, 14-hour shift, I don't have time to even just kick back and eat lunch for half an hour. Uh, yeah, I'm coming up coming up on Shamrock, Texas now. Gonna have a way station. Yeah, actually, I just talked to him not too long ago, maybe a week ago. Yeah, that's good. Um, yeah, again. Yeah. Well, I'll just say you can. I guess you can take the hillbilly out of the sticks, but you can't take the hillbilly out of the girl. I guess they were. Yeah, that car's all smashed up there. Airbags on the side deployed and all that. I think it was. I think it's already dealt with. I guess there was this one particular other JCT driver. I don't know who it was, but I guess they were. He was talking to what's her name, Lois, or no, she had one of them freaking double like hillbilly names. I forget what the hell it was called. Just I don't know her. I met her one time at the yard, but that was it. And I guess she has one of them like fucking Joe Beth or whatever kind of Betty Sue or yeah, one of those kind of names that people from like, and I guess she's from like some really backwood hillbilly area of Kentucky. And I guess this other driver was, I guess having, I guess like hitting on her and stuff. And I guess Dave went out, whatever, and come back or whatever, and she's in bed with this guy. Uh, no, not my business to know that. Oh, there always is. Uh, yes, yeah. Speaking of that, yeah, I think he thinks you did, but I don't. Honestly, not my business. And um, that was the impression I got, though. Yeah, yeah. I guess it was something about. Like, I guess she invited you over for Thanksgiving or something. I forget. Something about an invitation. That's all I remember hearing. Okay, so he might have gotten the wrong impression or something. I don't know, but keep in mind where he's probably getting his information from, whether it be from her or from mutual contacts with her, or or mutual contacts with you too. Ah, yeah, not me. I mean, I talk to them every once in a while, bullshit with them, and hang out when I'm in the same spot as them. But and yeah, it's been like especially with his and Tammy's situation. Like Tammy unfriended me, and yeah, yeah, I noticed she only has like three people I know on her list, and they're all women. Well, I think I want to say Linda Bass and a couple other people. So yeah, so I don't, I get it. I've seen that before, where sometimes when, especially when you get jilted livers like that, and and you have, especially spouses separated like that, you have potential legal issues, and you get one other. No, no, I don't. I didn't hear anything about that sort. Yeah, I never really wanted to pry in on that because hey, they're both my yeah, they're both my friends, and I'm not gonna go prying into their personal affairs unless they want to talk about it. Yeah. Well, yeah. Keep in mind too, he's under a certain impression about you that sounds to be incorrect information, and that's the thing. Getting impressions that based on what intel. Sometimes your mind tells you things going on that are not, even though it looks like something. I say the same thing about like racism, where a lot of times people think that certain behaviors that they experience are racially motivated, and because all they're looking for is that. When you're looking for, when you have a keen eye for anything, even overly or covertly racist, and anything that could be construed as racism, you're probably going to see it as racism, even though it's not necessarily at all. And I think that's the same situation there with him. Of course, hey, there's some insecurity thing going on between the two. I don't know. I don't know the whole business there, and I just got the impression he thought like you were moving in on her with, or behind his back or something. So it is your type. So short and petite women already. Latina, or some people are, or well, let's white boy it now. Latinx. Man, I have cousins who are Puerto Rican, and it's one of them posted on her Facebook like Latinx. I'm like, what the fuck is Latinx? Why not just say Latina or Latino or something, man? And I guess it's this stupid freaking, yeah. Now I don't want to call because like in Hispanic culture or Spanish speaking cultures, when you have any multiple where there's both male and female present or involved, it always takes on the male uh, indicative. So like Latino would be masculine, and Latina would be feminine. But if there's male and female people of Latin background, I guess they would call them. They would be referred to as Latinos. That's just the way Spanish linguistics works. But Yeah, and I found out Latinx is more of an American English thing because people don't are not okay with the whole, the ways, I guess, the masculine versus feminine linguistic roles. It's like I mean, it seemed kind of it's stupid to me, but at the same time, I understand it too. And I guess from an English speaker's perspective, it makes sense. Huh. Well, I assume you're looking at this year. More recent than me. I think the last time I talked to her, they were still on the truck together. Huh. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, here, wait, KW four. I think that said 4107. Yeah, yeah, that happens. God, it kind of reminds me of another this woman I know from Barstow. I think sometimes people dream up some of the dumbest shit. Like they just naturally think that you're hitting on them when you're like, I'm doing nothing of the kind. What the hell are you talking about? Just because I'm a guy and you're a girl doesn't mean I'm hitting on you. Yeah, there are plenty of pigs out here who probably would, but like, all right. So this was before I got in the Air Force. I was barely 21, and my friends were all 20, yeah, but she was over 21, and then her husband was in a drug rehab place in Las Vegas. So yeah, I remember just hey, just trying to be nice or hey, find someone. I want to go up to Vegas now that I can, and I want to find people, someone who's actually of age that I can go there and I have a good time with or whatever, just as a friend and nothing else. I didn't care if it was male or female, just somebody over 21. And we hung out a lot at her work. And I knew her husband was in rehab there, and she can visit him. So uh, my thought was, hey, maybe we can go up there, go gambling or whatever, and then you, she can visit her husband while we were up there. So that's what was going through my mind. And then later on, because I used to work at the McDonald's across the freeway from where she was at, and where she worked, and then because she used to work at Denny's, and came in one day, and all of a sudden she starts telling her husband about how I was one of the guys who was hitting on her while he was in rehab. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like I did no such thing. And and he was kind of crass about it, I guess. Like, well, kind of blew it off. Like, well, you can't have her. Yeah, she's kind of thing. Just some smart ass about it, but he wasn't confrontational about it. Like, I don't even know where she got the impression, but fucking bitches are bitches. Is the way I see it. Always fucking gotta think the guy's hitting on them, even when Yeah, I have platonic female friends. I don't have to see them all as sex objects. Yeah, and what pissed me off too with that, it's like, screw that. It's a kind of freaking two-faced, or no, no, it wasn't even so much two-faced. She fucking threw that dagger right from the front. So I guess we aren't real friends then. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure who he does a lot of talking with. So, uh-huh. Oh, sound like I don't know if that's going on. I would think maybe probably got a lifestyle that's not under control, where money's being left aside to handle that. I mean, well, everybody's got their flaws. No, I got mine. I would. Uh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we all get put. Sometimes we all have bad situations, and our own. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. That contributes to it too. And on this is like one of your worst enemies in the past that is no longer. My that same cousin I was talking about, the Puerto Rican one, she's getting ready to go into rehab for, or I think she's getting starting out AA or something. Yeah, yeah. Cause she had a question related to it, and I was the and yeah, you came to mind, but does that say Travis Marshall? All right. Yeah, because you still sponsor people, don't you? Or okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll double check her thing, and yeah, 'cause, yeah, she was she was not like totally open up front with about what she was wanting help with, but um, looking at the comments from other people made it pretty evident that it was alcoholism that she was getting treatment for, or wanting to get treatment for, or whatever. And so it's got me wondering if maybe I should get her in contact with you or something. Georgia. Basically the Atlanta area. Not in Atlanta, but not far from Atlanta. I can ask her because I know her sister lives. One of her sisters lives west of Atlanta, like not too far off of I-20. But her, I want to say she lives a little bit closer into Atlanta, but I forget where exactly. I just got in Oklahoma. I have the way station coming up. Yeah, and this is a non-driveway, so what the hell? What message be coming in at this time? Maybe it's a pre-plan or something. I don't know. Way station's open, so I gotta go in. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye. Alright guys, way station is open. It's a non-driveway, so I have to go in. Phone is running hot, so oh yeah, signs actually also tell me I have to go in. So alright, now when I get done with the way station, Cody or James Kelly, whoever, or somebody, maybe want to give me a call, let me know what's going on, catch me up on what's going on in the chat that I can't see. I can keep up and interact with you guys that way. Yeah, I know you're not going to give me that bypass lane, fucker. This station always tracks me in. This is the same one I got a ticket at for not having my valid IFTA stickers on the sides of my truck. Which I actually had the stickers, but they fell off or got stolen, one of the two. Alright, get out of my truck. I don't know what you are, some little flying thing, but you don't need to be in here. Alright, the stop sign's for making you stop while the truck is already on the scale, not necessarily for stopping before you get on it. Make sure it's centered on there. Yeah, good. Oh, exit the interstate. Alright, we're good. Ease my way off the scale and be out of here. I don't think I was even completely on the scale yet by the time he flipped the switch to exit the interstate. Probably just wanted to do a registration check and probably saw from my steer and drive tires that I was already not very heavy. So my load's only 21,000 pounds. I know that first message is
Message 132. Important received today at 9:15 a.m. Hours of service update on the QCOM. If you are planning on doing the 8/2 or 7/3 split, you must check the box be on the status screen in your hours of service. Thank you.
Is that why? I was wondering why my 14 didn't stop. I saw that checkbox on there, but I didn't know. Hey, what's up? Ah, good. How you doing? I can imagine. Yeah, I saw what you. I guess it was your pops. Yeah, your 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 pappy. Sorry to hear that. Did he live there in Stagecoach area also, or somewhere else? Ah, okay. From basically the cancer came back and exploded, basically. What kind did he have? Something with his neck. What part of his neck? Okay. Yeah, there aren't really any glands over there, so of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Yeah, ask me how I know stuff about that. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma myself, and my one of my neighbors I grew up with died from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I think the same month I found, or right before I found the lumps that turned out to be Hodgkin's and myself. And they were, yeah, and then the lymphomas usually do start in the neck or sometimes also the chest area or or in the armpit area. It's basically because the way your lymph system works. You'll have two branches that come down both sides of your neck. Now yeah, you know what the lymph system is, right? Yeah, for your immune system. Drains all the basically picks up all the contaminants or whatever, and or bacteria and whatever, and filters them through your lymph system down into your sternum. Then your sternum will process them into what is it, the liver? I think I want to say liver. Might be kidneys, but basically gets yeah, it expels it from the body eventually. Yeah, if it's in the neck, especially the back of the neck, there's really nothing there except for skin, soft tissues, and lymph nodes. Yeah. Is that what they're doing now? Yeah, I was wondering about that. I know COVID-19 has really screwed up how people do funerals now. And then I get that part, I guess, but then something still has to be done with the body, like buried or cremated, wherever the case might be, and don't they have like pallbearers or something you take it to take the body to the gravesite or something? Yeah, this is like definitely something I don't know enough about of how that's being done. And I kind of wondered if they were, well, no, I don't think it would have to, but because I don't like with animals, certain types, like say like parvo, I think it's an automatic. They have to be cremated, if I remember right. Yeah, to get rid of the viral matter. But like I was kind of wondering about that previously, like with COVID-19. I say somebody like myself who would prefer to be buried and not cremated, if that were to happen, and would there be a situation where it'd be a mandatory cremation instead of burial? Who you guys walking into there from? Interesting. This is trying to get yourself home. 88. Oh, you were coming in over that direction. You were gonna take like US 50 across or some shit. Okay, when I get stopped, I want to look at the map and see where exactly you were trying to get the truck to, and I want to come up with here. This is the way I think I would take. Just looking at the map without telling Google to tell me how to get there. Just look at the freaking map and yeah, get an idea on what I think the most truck friendly way into there would be. Because it sounds like one of those. I keep saying, don't blindly follow the damn GPS. But I can't be sure that you could be in a spot where it's just yeah kind of a problem no matter what. But so I don't want to be jumping the gun and making judgments, but I get the impression that blindly following the fucking GPS is a contributor to that. We got here 3873. Hey Taryn, is that you? Ah shit, my radio's off. I think that's Taryn Glenn Hunt. Hey Taryn, is that you? I don't know if he's got a radio. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's somebody I know. 3873. I'm pretty sure it's someone I know. Someone specific I know. All right. That's not good. Okay, so best say, all right, so the best way to handle situations like that, don't proceed. If you have to back up 20 miles to get you to unfuck yourself, you do it. And if you have to call 911 and tell them that, hey, you're in a truck, you're stuck, and you need help unscrewing yourself, and you need a cop to block traffic so you can do it safely, do it. Because you don't want to do damage to equipment, and you don't want to get stuck and have to call a wrecker, and then you really have a problem. And the cops will actually appreciate it if you realize, hey, I made a wrong turn or something, or I thought I was okay going this way, and I was trying to get to this to my home at this such and such spot, and found out the hard way this isn't a good way. I mean, they'll still chastise you for why are you following your GPS, um, but they'll also appreciate you actually taking the time to try to do things to get yourself out of a mess the safe way instead of having a mishap and causing problems for them and other people. Because yeah, it's because I've actually seen that. Where I missed when I had a trainee. We were in Milton, Pennsylvania. Yeah, and I'd been through there before. Yeah, actually numerous times because there was an XPO facility in New Columbia, which is right by Milton, that I'd regularly do pickups from. And but we were heading west on this road from because we were there for a different reason. Yeah, we were actually at the Conagra Foods plant there in Milton, and we're going west, and it meant to go north on Highway 15 to get back over to where or actually on the street that's before. But no, I think they said they didn't like us being on that street because you know, the citizens there didn't like trucks being in the area. So I was trying to show the trainee get on Highway 15 instead and take it up past just past I-80 and then get back off on that same street. But it ends up overshooting the exit the turn for US 15, and then I'm looking on the map because once I realized shit, missed a turn. And looking on the map, trying to figure out where's a good spot where we can circle back around, possibly, just keep driving forward and maybe circle around, get turned back the other way. And yeah, it was like miles of road that we would have had to do to get turned around, and it was road that I wasn't sure I wanted our truck on. So, and there was a gas station right there on the other side of 15, so I had them blindside back into the driveway there. But I had a problem though, because the other traffic in the area, and yeah, I needed both lanes. And I remember I got out of the truck like I always did, and I kind of spotted for him and tried to make sure traffic in the area knew, hey, stop. And the next thing, a local cop shows up and turns his lights on, and it's coming from the direction up. And because he could tell right away what had happened. Man. Oops, we missed a turn, and we realized it very quickly, and we're just trying to unfuck ourselves. So yeah, all he cared about was just blocking traffic so we could make our maneuver safely and get back out of there, and we did it the correct way. Back into a driveway, get the tractor facing the opposite direction, and then come back out forward. Yeah, you'll hear stories from drivers much more experienced than me about how they run into those kind of situations, and they had to drive backwards 2 or even more miles to get out of whatever jam they're in, and even sometimes even having to call the cops to tell them, hey, I'm in this spot, I need to back up, I need your help. That's a good point because that was the first thing I was going to mention before you said it yourself is how long are the logging trailers? Because they're probably like 48 footers, right? Okay, yeah, which makes a difference. But then where your tandems were set was another thing I would at least want to know about. Okay. Yeah, not kind of. So if you're in a questionable spot like that, where you think I don't know if it's where it looks like it's tight, set your tandems all the way forward at the very front setting. They don't have to be at the 40-foot mark. They just and 40-foot mark's only applicable to California. They just can't be further back than 40 feet. 3921. You can have them forward of that setting all you want. The only state where that's an issue at all is Michigan, I believe. And even then, I think Michigan. I think their actual length restriction is 37 to 41 feet, and that's from the kingpin to the center of the axle group, not the rear axle. So to the rear axle, it'd be more like 39 to 43 is what they wanted at. That's the only state in the entire U.S. that has a minimum that I know of. All of them, they don't. Yeah, all of them have no defined minimum and only have either a defined max or no max at all. Yeah, your tandem's further forward, even if it's only gonna get you another maybe foot and a half. It might get 2 feet, but more likely maybe about a foot and a half. That extra foot and a half shorter turn radius on the trailer can allow your tandems to be further, closer to the tractor before they have to start maneuvering around that curve, and gives you a little bit better chance of being able to negotiate something like that without uh, hitting anything. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like it's something if it just a slight cosmetic issue and doesn't compromise integrity at all, or doesn't look like something that really requires repair, I don't think I'd want to report something like that either. So is this situation was did he just approach you too high a speed and had to basically hit the brakes to and then ended up in that position, or was it just uh oh, oh man, you got lucky there then because he could have said wait for the cops and then say that hey this guy's in my lane and I had nowhere to go and had him blocking my lane. Well, but then again, that's something they teach us in trucking too is never outdrive your ability to see. If you can't see far enough around a curve to be able to stop on time for something that could be around the curve, then you're going too fast for conditions. That's just the way it is. Yeah. I was just curious. Can you text me or something the location that you were trying to get to, and then I'll look it up on Google Maps and see where it's at in relation to the, let's just say the spaghetti bowl, and I would and I can give you my thought on which way I would try to go there from the spaghetti bowl. All right, cool. Well, Tahoe's off US 50. Oh, wait. Okay, so you didn't take 80 across. You actually went across 50 from Sacramento toward Tahoe? Oh, there's a section of it that's closed right now, and I think there's a section of it that's also not truck legal as well. So that automatically tells me that that's not a good way to go. I want to take an 80 over to the Spaghetti Bowl and then come back down 580 or stay on 80 over to like USA Parkway or more toward Friendly. Yeah. We'll see, but I know US 50 is it's truck route up to a certain point going that direction, and then when you're coming from 395/580, there's another section going into Lake Tahoe from there that is truck route, but then there's a section in between the two that is not a truck route. And because I remember I was looking up online too to see what other truckers were saying about that route because it just the curves and all that kind of made me wonder question if it was a place I should be putting my truck. I wanted to go that way, but I also wasn't sure if it was truck legal. And then I'd look up online and saw people talking about who actually have firsthand experience with that route and say, yeah, the certain little section over there, I guess the cops will write you a ticket if you're there. Yeah, and then also something to consider there though with that is on the atlas. Sometimes there are some routes that are on the atlas that show up as not truck routes, but really are. Um, like that's one where I think it could be. There's another one in Arizona, I think US 60. Okay, like going through like Sholo and all that, where it'll show that it's not a truck route in Arizona, but it is in New Mexico. But in reality, it is a truck route, from what I understand. I've seen some other places too that show up as not truck routes on the atlas, but in reality, they are. So I've grown to not trust atlases too much. I'll use the atlas. I'll use the appendix section of the atlas to see if I'm in a certain state. Are there any certain specific truck restricted areas? Because the appendix section will actually tell you certain highway number trucks are not allowed in and whatever section or whatever, or trucks only up to a certain length are allowed or something. Like example in California, Interstate, what is it, 580? 580 or 680, one of the two. The one that goes up right into Oakland. The north, yeah, the north, not the one that goes across from I-5 and Tracy over to 238 and all that, but the other section where, um, yeah, I want to say it's 580. That's actually truck restricted. So trucks are actually through trucks are actually not allowed on that part of I-580 unless they're making local deliveries. Um, I think it's really not much of anything else in the country for interstate truck restrictions, but then there are a handful of U.S. highways that have truck restrictions. And then state routes are far more likely to have truck restrictions. Uh, but you didn't encounter like a construction area, did and you stayed on US 50 the entire time? Okay, but you got stuck in California though, right? Okay, what I'm trying to get at here is the section of 50 that's east of I-580 and US 395 is completely irrelevant to the discussion if you were west of there when you ran into this problem. So I'm trying to figure, you were west of Lake Tahoe when you ran into that challenging spot, right? Okay, yeah. So I mean, US 50 east of 395 is completely irrelevant to this as far as I'm concerned. Because as far as, yeah, I know that US 50 is a truck legal route east of 395. And I've even used 50 at least to get over to USA Parkway from over by now from um, damn it, what's that town there? Fallon. I think it's Fallon, right? Or or no, maybe not Fallon. There's that other one. I remember you go through Fallon and then you can take, was that 95 alternate over to Fernley? But there's, maybe it was Fallon. That's funny. Where's Minden? That sounds familiar. Where's that at? But okay, well, I'm trying to remember okay, whenever I come up that way from Las Vegas, I come up 95, and then there are two different ways I can go once I'm up in that area. But basically, when I get into um, before I even get to Fallon, there's one route that goes right through Fallon, and then you can take. I thought that was US 50. It goes across through Fallon and over to Fernley or toward Fernley. Okay, and then yeah, and then there's another way. Yeah, I think it's before Fallon. You turn off to the left, and it's 95 alternate, and then it goes over into damn it, what's the name of that town? We pick up onions from there. Yerington. Yeah, it goes over to Yerington, And then you go up, I think that's 95 alternate still, up from there to some other town that I think is US 50, and then take US 50 across to the west, not very far. And then you can turn onto the road that, turn right onto the street that turns into USA Parkway. I'll double check that, but yeah, I'm trying. I thought Menden might have been that town right there where 95 alternate and 50 meet up. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong though. Yeah, like practically abandoned mining towns or some shit. Wow. Yeah, or watch people pass through. Uh, yeah, I've strongly considered going that way before myself, but there are certain little areas, like you were saying, west of Tahoe that had me concerned. Just looking at the map enough to where it's like I don't know if this is really a spot I really want to put my truck on. In a car, oh, absolutely, but a truck, it looked like it might have been doable, but questionable at the very least. So yeah, I've never actually bothered to try that. Alright. And now you know also take 80 across instead of that. Is that how you actually ended up getting across? Was 80? Oh, that's cool. Uh, yeah. Yeah, it sounded like you were in that section there that's basically just south of the lake itself, but west of town. Yeah, because, yeah, if you look at it on the map there, yeah, there's an area there where it's a bunch of squiggly. Anytime you see squiggly on a map, it's just start being really cautious about whether you really want to put a truck in that area. Like, there are some areas where you can have those kind of squigglies and a truck will do just fine, but then there are others where it's every bit as tight as it looks like it is. Um, like I can show you the mountains, in my area. Yeah, let's just say going up from Silverwood Lake up to Crestline. That's truck not recommended, but not necessarily not really truck restricted. And I have first-hand experience driving through there numerous times in my car, and like, there's no fucking way in hell I would drive my truck through there. No way. Maybe if I had a day cab and a shorter trailer or something, definitely. But a sleeper cab with a 53, there's no freaking way in hell I would put my truck up there. I mean, even if I could negotiate the curves, there's the problem with the visibilities. Like, and sometimes on those sharper curves, you have to put your entire truck and trailer in the oncoming lane. That's if it's a sharp right, you have to put your entire truck and trailer in the right in the oncoming lane to negotiate a hairpin right curve, and somebody could be coming the other way and not have any idea what's going on. Yeah, and they're even signs saying trucks not recommended. Uh, oh, and that's where I say looking at the map can do you good. Don't have the damn GPS tell you how to get from one place to another. It thinks you're in a freaking car, not a truck. And now, not to mention, you would see those squiggly lines, and it's an instant question mark. Say, whoa, do I want to put my truck there? Maybe I can, but even if I can, do I really want to? Because how slow am I going to have to drive through that area, even if I'm allowed to? And how much difference would it be, especially going through there? It's not that many more miles to take I-99 highway, yeah, I-80 business route up from 50 up to 80. What is that, like maybe 5 miles or some shit? And yeah, it's not that far. And then, yeah, it's more miles, but then you can run, especially with an empty trailer, you can run full speed all the way across to Reno and then come back down. Versus going through there, doesn't matter if you're loaded or empty, you got those curves. For one, you're going to be at slower speed in a lot of areas of that. And then when you get to that, that curvier area, you're really going to get slowed down. So, I I think it normally is, but I know I just read something recently. I forget why it was like that. I don't know if it was because of the fires or something else. I know for a fact there was something I read very recently about something going on over there, like they were closing off a section, whatever, and making traffic divert around a certain area. And I'm kind of wondering if you got caught up in that, right? Hey, you learned something new though, and you're gaining experience from it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll check that route on the Caltrans or one of the California sites. I don't know if they have a 65-foot limit or not. Because that's the other thing. If there's a 65-foot limit, then you can't take a 53-foot trailer through it. You can take a 48, I think. 48 with a day cab through a place like that, but not a sleeper cab with a 53. All right, sounds good. You too. All right, bye. Alright, what's up, RG? Let's see. Alright, RG, you see something about bonehead truckers of the week? You can start the brain dead cars of the week, yes. That's not a bad idea. I just figured I'll post those stupid drivers or stupid people and interesting things I've seen videos. Maybe at regular intervals. Whenever I get a chunk of them that are, well, I'll say about 10, 20 minutes long, whatever, somewhere in that ballpark. Not excessively long, but enough to where there's enough clips to watch or something. We do those more frequently. Especially now, I'll do them mainly not so much for general population entertainment, but with people that just get to the point and want to see accidents and stuff. It's more like for those of you guys who watch my live streams, like you guys, or watch the channel regularly, might want to see what kind of interesting stuff I come across. Regardless of how extremely interesting it is, or eventful it is, or it could just be something. This is not something you see every day. Now that's the intent of those videos. Truckers send in video clips with retards behind the wheels of cars. Now the thing is, there's so much content. I mean, we all see stupidity from other drivers, trucks and cars alike on a daily basis. I wouldn't even be able to keep up with that kind of stuff. And and a lot of what I post on my channel is intended to be educational in nature in some way. Whether it be for fellow truckers or even for the automotive public who, I know there are sometimes people, I think, who was it? Not Yolanda, but somebody else. Somebody else recently said they wanted me to post more stuff that, like something that could be educational for them as a car driver that don't even have a CDL. So they can understand better how to be better defensive drivers or how to more effectively drive around trucks. And I get plenty of that kind of content myself, and I'm sure I can use my own content and post it regularly. Even if it's just like the one I just posted where, you see that, I don't think I have that on there yet, but I think it's more recent, where someone's just not driving defensively and they could have mitigated a traffic conflict, but it failed to. Something else I want to do is upgrade my dash cam here to a 3-camera system so I can get another exterior camera mounted to my passenger probably sell this one to somebody for a good price, so someone can have a good, at least a 2-camera system to use. Which is better than one, and either is better. One or two is better than none. Alright, just over 80 miles out now. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, yeah, it's kind of a problem I had. When I stopped in Amarillo to do my 30-minute break. I was tired and I needed a nap, and took like a 1 hour nap, and still felt groggy, so I took another hour and was finally up and at it after that. But yeah, so I guess you guys don't have anything going on then. All right, yeah. If you you guys focus on that if you have to. I don't want to disrupt that from, because I know it's kind of a frustrating process you guys are going through there with battling for places that interest you and stuff. So um, if you think that meeting up might cause a hiccup there that could create a problem, let me know. Okay. Yeah, I was saying if anything, yeah, maybe probably maybe meet briefly for lunch or something, and then I can always finish my shift at our terminal, and then yeah, not take too much of your guys' time, or hang out with the boys, but still, I mean, but not make it too long so you guys can do what you got to do. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll stop at the TA off exit 142. I'll be there 5 miles out right now. Uh, okay. I will see you. Bye. Washita River. I couldn't even bed down there, but my ex and her husband are basically house hunting. Home hunting. Jackknife semi. Wrong pass. The audio thing on that in a minute. Right behind me. Can't see you, but I can see a little bit of your shadow, just barely though. Now, look, I just take her in front of me. He's going fast enough where there's not any point in trying to go around him. He was either lollygagging briefly or he's just slipping the hill. Genius. Another guy here, white KW. Couldn't read it. 3970 Alpha or something like that. 397 something.
Major delays on SV15 into Cajon Pass VVNG.com 3 hours ago. Cajon Pass, Caliph. VVNG.com, a jackknifed semi on the southbound I-15 is causing major traffic delays for motorists making their way down the hill Tuesday morning. The crash was reported at about 5:20 a.m. on September 29, 2020, north of Kenwood Avenue. According to the California Highway Patrol incident logs, all lanes are expected to remain blocked for at least 2 hours. Vehicles are using the right shoulder to get past the incident. At the moment, the I-15 through the Cajon Pass is basically a parking lot and motorists should avoid travel if possible. All the side routes are just as backed up. Additional information will be updated as it becomes available. To follow updates to this article and more, join our news group on Facebook with over 140,000 members, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
truck in good weather. That makes me think that maybe the roads were wet or something from rain or whatever, but I don't know if there was any rain going through that area this morning. Delivery in Denver yet, or still working at one? And are you on your? Are you already on your reload going up to what was it, Idaho or? I want to say you said you were going to Idaho. Yesterday, the day before, whatever it was. Sisters area of Wyoming is what it sounds like. Somewhere in between Fort Bridger and Evanston. Oregon, but Charles is in Wyoming or Utah heading toward Twin Falls. And you're not in Oregon because you were just back over to, you're going to Grandview. Yeah, that's right. So today's your shift. You're running from your place over to Grandview. Oh, I thought, yeah, I'm getting you and Charles mixed up with who was saying what. That's why you guys' names look very similar. I only take really quick looks and I see both the two people with C words talking at the same time. It's throwing me off. All right. Now I see what's going on. So you're in Eastern Oregon then? Weatherford, Oklahoma. So Cody just got into Ontario, Oregon. All right. They're building there. That's what that is. Sit down for the day in Oklahoma City, or if I'll just stop there to have lunch with my boys, and then press on and finish my day in Sepulpa. But they're also still in a hotel and they're still house acting and all that. If they were settled in, they had a place they were already calling home, and wasn't such an issue, yeah, I'd be all for that. But when they're looking around for a place to live and all that kind of stuff, I don't want to take too much of their time. Just something real quick to hang out for, to have lunch together or whatever before I go back on about my day and let them focus on what they got to do. That's what I'm considering doing. Morning, Jim. Well, I guess good afternoon here. Oklahoma now. We're eastbound on I-40, heading toward Oklahoma City from Amarillo. by the bill that's coming out or something? Let's go do ice road trucking. Yeah, do ice road trucking Wyoming style. Showing all the accidents or all the every time the interstate gets shut down, show why it's shut down. have to go up and down Cabbage Pass 3 times in a single week in icy conditions. Yep, I've been there. Music on. would regularly have chain controls in effect in bad weather, but in reality, the spot in that area that is the most prone to having chain controls is Beecham, over there just to the east of the top of Cabbage. Beecham really gets really bad, and regularly has chain restrictions in effect in the winter time. I noticed, and then you can have chain controls right there in Beecham, and then have the same bad weather through Cabbage, and not have to have your chains on going down Cabbage. It's weird. Yeah, a couple of winters ago, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was 2 winters ago. I remember I had to go up and down Cabbage 3 times in less than a week. And every time I went up and down it was icy. I'm sure a lot of people would freak out and screw that, I'll just stay parked until the road's in better shape. Be able to safely operate your vehicle in those conditions, or you have doubts that you'd be able to stay out of someone else's way if someone else loses control. And absolutely, please do get off the road. Do everybody a favor. And not putting you down for that decision either. It's good advice. What's going to keep everybody safe and keep the road from getting shut down? That's what has to get done. That's what has to get done. Not everybody has the same experience or mentality or abilities, I guess. Well, I guess everybody can develop the same abilities. It's just obviously with different mindsets and experience levels, so there are variations with that. Just got past Hinton, Oklahoma. About 35 miles out now from where I'm going to stop. I don't know yet if it's going to be for the rest of the day or if I'll just be in town in OKC just long enough to maybe have something to eat with my boys and continue on. Now, normally, if I didn't have my boys along my route, I would just go ahead and go straight on up to Tulsa. Just pull up on the Tulsa area, wherever. Probably our yard, though. It's only 50 miles, 50, from our yard to the receiver. So I would, and I can reach our yard with the clock I still have. We got 3:14 left. Yard, still here to my, or not, Patrick Turnpike on the west end of OKC, and then right at about 101 miles from where you get on the turnpike to our terminal. So about 130, took me about 2 hours, and I got 3:13 to work with. But my kids being in Oklahoma City and having an opportunity to, because I can still run it into the receiver from OKC. Now, I'd have to run an extra 90 or whatever it is miles. I think it'd be about 140 or so miles from the TA there in OKC to the Walmart DC in Ochalata. But
Exit 2 miles, Kenneth.
Well, it's been kind of an eventful last couple of shifts. Hope to have good dash cam footage for all of it. Yesterday, when I was driving through western New Mexico, just east of Grant, I saw a woman outside a car, and I saw the car suddenly take off without her. It looked like she had some stuff there on the ground, and then the car took off without her and left the trunk open. So they basically ditched her. Yeah, and I believe my dash cam picked it up. That was one interesting thing I saw recently. And another, this shift, a couple of situations. I had one that I thought was a drunk driver. I called it and I reported him. They're driving making very strange, doing very strange things behind the wheel. First, they had their high beams on. They sped past me. And after they got past me, we got into a construction zone, and then I saw they just suddenly swerved right into the closed lane area of the construction zone, and had their hazard lights on the entire time while they were over there. And then they came back out onto the end of the lane, into the normal lane. Eventually, behind the truck that was up there in front of them. The next thing I know, they go in, they slow down, get in. What is this person on? And then 22 miles later, I end up running over a coyote. Coyote threw me off because I thought he was, because he went from the right shoulder toward the median and running away from me and to the left, basically. I thought he was going to cross into the median and go over to the westbound side. And as I'm approaching, he suddenly changes his mind and turns around and goes back to the eastbound right shoulder. Meanwhile, though, I'm right there. And I was coming up too fast. I didn't slow down really much because I thought he was going over to the westbound side. He ended up going right underneath the center of my truck. Took off running for me. He was running like he was spooked by something, like maybe my truck coming, but and then he turned around like he bounced the direction like he was really confused about where to go, and it was just it made a panic move and crossed him. Assuming he didn't make it, but I didn't really hear anything making contact, with the front of my, the front of my truck or anything. So I'm wondering if he ducked down right at the right second to avoid getting hit by the front of my truck or something. I don't know. Or maybe he did get hit and went tumbling around underneath. Amarillo, Oklahoma coming up here. I do have a way station also coming up. Right over here on the east side of town. Miles out. Yeah, I'm hoping the same thing. Second time I've hit a coyote in a truck. Almost the third, because I had one I almost hit, but he first one, I almost hit it, but he was in the median while I was going down Chiriaco Pass, from Chiriaco Summit down to Coachella, California, heading westbound. He was in the median and was getting ready to go running across the road in front of me, and then he saw me coming and stopped and waited. Then he went running across after I went by, but I got hit by the car that was behind me. Second one, I was in the Walmart fleet. I just finished emptying at the Sam's Club in Oklahoma, Las Cruces, New Mexico. Just a little bit before, about a mile or two before I got to the Border Patrol checkpoint there, just west of Las Cruces, this coyote came out from the median, running diagonally away from me from left to right. I had no idea what, I don't think he even knew what hit him. Right underneath the center of my truck as well. Come on, Titan, speed up. I already did you a big enough favor by moving over for you, which I didn't even have to do. Driver in front of okay, your stupid flatbed out of the fast lane so that four-wheelers can go by you. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're part of the reason why Titan's hanging out in front of me. About what this Titan construction pickup here in front of me is going to do. And I see he's on his phone on top of it. Whoever that is pulling that flatbed trailer is an idiot. If you can't get around JB Hunt, then don't even try. Just stay behind him. Not to mention you got a way station coming up not too many miles away. Until that damn flatbed driver moves over and out of the way, and even then I'm not sure I want to go trying to pass the JB Hunt until after I get past the way station. 130 mile marker, if I remember right. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get around him now. Give it up. You're not going to be able to get around me now. You had your opportunity to pass me already and you didn't take it. US 81 coming up, Chickasaw and El Reno. I think your trash truck could use a little bit of a wash. I bet you're using excuse. Yeah, but I just came from the dump. It's all dusty there. Hey there. Get by the way station first, and really, is this something I can call you about later? Because when I'm done driving, because I'm not very far away from where I'm going to shut down to see the boys. What's up? God damn it! What? I can't understand a damn word you're saying. Cause what? Okay. Oh, okay. And that's gonna cost money to get him a class ring. Hey, I got way station coming up and it's open. I was trying to tell you before you called that it was not a good time because I knew the way station's coming up and not too much further up past that is where I'm stopping to see the boys. All right, love you. All right, bye. Way station is open, so unless they have signs saying that I can bypass, because this says follow road signs, and I don't think they have road signs here. I think if it's open, you go in. Yeah, I don't see signs here. 98 degrees here, so I can take my hoodie off when I shut down. I think Dunkin' Donuts is overrated. They're alright, but I usually like mom and pop kind of donut shops better than theirs. Jackass, I don't think you're supposed to get on the scale until after I'm already off it. Get out of my truck. As soon as my window's open, that means I was inviting you in, you idiot. like TA, sometimes I like pilot, whatever. It just depends on the particular area. Or sometimes I like certain other places that are not major chains. A lot of times it just depends on what I'm wanting to accomplish. Like, do I need a shower? If so, then it's got to be a pilot or flying J. If I don't need a shower, I really don't care where I park. Just wherever's a good spot that. And the other thing is, am I hungry? And if I am, what food options are available? Like some loves, I like because they at least have some food options that I can do, or that I'm over. I can get myself in the mood for. Others, sometimes it doesn't matter. All I see is Chester's Chicken and Subway and Godfather's Pizza, whatever. Not so likely I'll want to stop there. I have to be in the right mood to have any of that. That's something you learn really fast your first year in trucking is there are subways everywhere in the world as far as trucking is concerned. And it gets old really fast. It gets to where you get sick and tired of Subway and don't want to have anything to do with it. Shower at them, but if you want to do it without having to pay for it, then generally speaking, yeah. Alright, Kilpatrick Turnpike coming up. That's easy to find on the map, the west end of Oklahoma City, and then it's basically a limited access road that loops around the west and north ends of OKC. Turnpike, aren't you? Well, this black pickup behind me must be getting on the turnpike. Crossed over from the number one lane. Four-wheelers are so predictable. Something right or doing something stupid. You guys are very predictable in general. I'd either stop at the petrol over on the other side of town or right here off this exit I just passed. Or that I'm getting ready to pass right now. Like the TA right here, they have Fazoli's. Yeah, they got decent pasta there. Coming up 1 mile away, Council Road, exit 142. Even stop at the Peterbilt dealer and see if I get the proper headlights for my truck. Because they don't sell the part number that I really want, or that was on my truck at the truck stops. Now they sell a similar type, but it's not the same kind. It's not the same one. To stay clear of the car that was in the other lane, and somehow I accidentally got my steer tire into the dirt, and the way it was set up I couldn't get out of there. I was able to get my tire pointed a little more perpendicular by backing up and steering right instead of trying to go forward and left. Is this a no turn on red kind of place, or? Because there was this street right over right next to me had traffic going there, and then the light right here at this next intersection here on my right, it's not even lit up at all. Traffic coming. I need both lanes to make my turn, so actually now looks like we're good. Well, I guess it is a green light over here. Just from where I was at, I couldn't see though. Over here, yeah, maybe by where that dump truck is. I think that's not reserved. Yeah, that truck is torn up. Missed that dump truck. The other one had a light pole. The first one I was going to go for has a light pole at the back of it. And probably fine, but I just rather not. Especially when this spot here has, it's wide open.
You have 2 hours and 35 minutes of remaining drive time.
Alright. So we're in Oklahoma City. The TA truck stop off Council Road. They have a new feature on our logs. I want to point it out. Okay, so it's the email message that I got. Down here is this checkbox here, will pair SB. That's a new option there. So I can hit that. Let's just say make it a 2-hour break. I don't know if I can edit it. Let's just say I just want to be here for... Oh, there we go. Okay. So I think if I do that... So my 14-hour clock is at 5:20. So, or it was... I think it should have been lower, but... Because I only had about... not even... Maybe an hour... No, I don't even think it was an hour gap between my... Yeah, it should have been 3:20. So, when I hit that status, that button right there, see, well, my 14-hour clock got paused. So, it says 5:20. Now watch, when I hit this again and uncheck it, it's down to 2:57. So I can buy myself more time to spend here, and basically I can spend more time here and not have my 14 run down to a point where I can't, where I can no longer get to Sapulpa at the end of the day. You know, because ideally I want to end my shift at Sapulpa, not here. Because if I can stop there, I mean, I have 234, so that's 150 miles or so that I can do, and I'm only just a little over, maybe about 100 or so, so I can easily cover that distance. But if my 14-hour clock runs down, my 14 runs down, I can't make it over there. And yeah, I was at 257 without that thing selected. Now it's at 519, and it's supposed to pause my 14. Not even. Well, it looks like it's counting down. It basically added. 257. A little over 2 hours and 20 minutes to my 14-hour clock. Just kind of curious now. Let's take a look at, because I took a 2-hour break earlier in Amarillo. Okay, so see, that was 203, and then I had another section of off duty, 218, or it's 18, so 221 total. So when I hit that real thing there, and it went from 250. That I sat in Amarillo, so I'm basically saying that I'm pairing that 2-hour break up with 8-hour sleeper berths later on, and which I'm actually do 8-hour sleeper berth and then some, because I'll run from. I'll do a 10-hour break and then a little bit more before it'll be time to go deliver. So yeah, that's what that new checkbox is for. If you're going to use a 7-3 split or 8-2 split, make sure that that button is checked, or that box is checked, and it's supposed to pause your 14. Yeah, 220 something, that 21 or so today. The time that I was off duty earlier. Gee, I never knew it was a Freightliner. This truck here, this Landstar truck, it's got Freightliner. The graphics on there says Freightliner. It's like, no shit. Okay, so there are only two things that affect JCT drivers on the new HOS rules. They actually sent us a message earlier, and we talked about them before, Cody. Okay, so they went into effect last night at 11:01 Central Time, or just basically 12:01 Eastern Time. Make sure you log out sometime today, and when you log back in, the latest firmware will load. If you'd like to review the changes, please go to fmcsa.gov/regulations/hours-of-service. The two rule changes that will affect JCT drivers are the 30-minute break and the sleeper berth. Your 30-minute break can now be done either while on duty or off duty, or a combination of both. So basically, your 30-minute break, any non-driving time can count toward your 30-minute break. I am not a fan of that personally. I'm not going to run my breaks that way. Because like I said earlier, break time that's me time. That means I'm doing something self-indulgent, whether it's sleeping or eating or screwing around on Facebook or YouTube or who knows, something that is not related to doing productive work. on duty, not driving, is doing productive work that doesn't involve moving my truck. Doing a pre-trip inspection, doing a post-trip inspection, doing a DOT inspection, getting fuel. All those, I'm doing productive work. That's not me time. That's me doing time that's related to keeping my truck moving, or doing what I have to be doing. So I'm not going to buy into that. It'll benefit some people who actually want to take advantage of that, but no, not me. I'm going to do an actual 30-minute break. I'm not doing on-duty time as part of break time. Bullshit. But you say that's just me. I think it's a good option for people who actually want to run that way, but I do have a little bit of concern that trucking companies could take advantage of that and abuse drivers who don't want to run that way, and maybe run them at a little bit higher speed now that they know they can do that. And I doubt it really will have that effect, but you never know. I have a concern about that, at least, and it's definitely not a way that I am going to have anything to do with doing myself. Unless I just happen to have one of those days where, hey, I'm going to go. Just go, and I don't want to sit longer than I have to. I just want to get where I'm going. I can see doing that, but far more often than not, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to say, you know what, I'm going to take my 30-minute break, and I'm going to take whatever time I want to take, so I can drop a deuce, go eat, nap, or whatever the hell I feel like doing with that time. That's me time. Alright, so the other one is a 7-3 split. So you can break your 10-hour break up into a 3-hour break and a 7-hour break minimum. And if you do, or you can still do the 8-2 as well. And as you notice there, they have that checkbox there, so that on the status screen. So when I hit it, it's supposed to pause my 14-hour clock. That way I can go ahead and I can have not have my 14 run down on me. And that's a really useful option for maybe those occasions when I sit in a dock door for 3+ hours, and now I can't I can't drive as far as I otherwise would want to, or really need to. And then I could just do a 7-hour break once I'm done with my shift, and that satisfies a 10-hour break. I don't know how it's going to work with the drive time. Like if I split 7 and 3, if I'll still get the drive time prior to the previous break. So if I do, let's just say 5 hours, drive 5 hours, take a 3-hour break, drive another 5 hours, take a 7-hour break. Do I get the 5 hours back that I did before the 3-hour break, or is it something else? I have to figure that out later when I do a 7-3 to get some experience with this myself. 8-2 splits, I do them a lot, and in fact, and that's exactly one of the reasons why I stayed for 2 hours in Amarillo this morning, is because I had the option. No, it's not really. I was going to end up with a 10-hour plus break tonight anyway. So this isn't such an applicable situation for that, but I've had plenty of other times where maybe I'm running on a little bit tighter time schedule, and I want to take a nap, but I don't want to take a nap and then have to take a 10-hour break and then put my load behind, make it late or something. So tight time schedules like that, I'll go ahead and take a 2-hour break, run the rest of my shift out, take an 8-hour sleeper berth, and then whatever drive time I did before the 2-hour break I get back on top of what drive time I did not already use, and then I can run that part of the shift and then do another 2-hour break, and then run the hours basically the hours that I ran between the 2-hour and the 8-hour break previously, or the 8-hour sleeper berth previously. I would get that back after the 2-hour break, and I could keep going that way, back and forth between 2-8, 2-8, 2-8. The new rule here, they talked about you still have to do a 10-hour break after you've done the 8-2 split, but or the 7-3 split. So there's gonna be some learning there with how to, what really happens with my clock. So I may play around and experiment when I have opportunities to do so, just to see how things go with that. So I know what I'm getting myself into, when I can and cannot take advantage of certain options, and also, so I know the right kind of information I can share with other people who might have a question about it. All right, so that's affects me at all, and personally, is the 7-3. Oh, and also, now the 30-minute break part. There is one part of it that can benefit me also, or maybe some of you guys, is now it's not going to start counting down your 8-hour clock until you start driving the truck. So normally, when you go on duty for your pre-trip at the start of your shift, your 8-hour clock and your 14-hour clock both start to run down right away. Now, and I noticed this last night when I started my shift, the 14-hour clock starts to run down right away as soon as you start your pre-trip, but your 8-hour clock sits and stays there at 8 hours until you actually start to drive the truck, and then it'll start counting down. And then only after that point is when you have to stop and do a 30-minute break. All right, so that's... now, does it pause when I stop for like a 10-minute break? I don't know. I've not noticed whether it's entirely dependent on the drive time, or does it just not start until you start driving. So we'll figure that out. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and go offline here so I can meet up with my kids, figure out maybe something to eat or something, and then I may or may not go ahead and run from here up to Sepulpa a little bit later this afternoon. You guys, either I'll see you guys in an hour or two, couple hours, who knows, or I'll see you, maybe see you guys in the morning when I go make the delivery or something, all right? So we'll see you guys then. Take care. Thanks.